Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we'll be doing the abridged review of Slap on Titan. This is by tomandre and... oh boy.
Aaron, next time you have an awkward family reunion, just do what I always do and get plastered.
He's not family.
Whatever. It's solid advice for any problem.
Well, thanks, I guess.
Let's try some now and see if you don't feel better. Pictures like serving alcohol to minors.
For everyone who hasn't seen Slap on Titan, just gonna warn you right now, spoilers. This isn't just a normal abridged review where I say if it's good or not, because right now, I'm just gonna say right off the bat, this is one of the best abridged series on YouTube right now. If you haven't seen it, there is a link down below. Go watch it. For everyone who's still here who hasn't seen it, we're just going to jump right into what exactly makes this show so absurdly good. And I'm not just talking it's fun or there's a few good jokes. I'm talking they have done something that I truly think is a high watermark. It is comparable to the big three abridges that I truly believe define what abridging can be. Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and My Hero Academia Abridged by Joyride Entertainment. This is one of those shows that is intelligent. It is thoughtful. It will drag you through the muck to find a joke, but when you do, you realize that joke isn't just a diamond. It is a 24-karat diamond the size of the fucking walls. Praise the walls! It even has me doing that stupid joke. Not even just like now. I mean, in general life, I will say that and realize what I've said. I'm like, damn it, Armin. Yeah, no one gets that because they don't know the show outside. I do it, though, and it's so good, I don't even mind. Mostly because I'm weird, but that's not important right now. What makes this show good is the jokes they've chosen to do. How they build the jokes up. How they bring the jokes back. And who exactly the main character is. Because this is not really an Aaron-centric show. He's the main character, but he's not really the main character. First up, though, let's look at the humor. The humor in this series is thoughtful. Oh, it's very stupid humor. It's low-level jokes, but it's built up to be intelligent, and then it bangs your head in with all the thought process behind it. It's like a lot of build-up for what is actually an incredibly awesome reward, but you don't see it coming because it's a layer-on-layer process, and they establish this immediately with technically the second joke. The first scene is very slow, and it just basically establishes kind of a type relationship between Aaron and Mikasa. And I do mean in the sense that that is exactly how Aaron views Mikasa, and that is how it continues throughout the entire series.
I wasn't sleeping. It was insulin shock.
You're not a diabetic.
And you're not a psychic.
You're not a diabetic.
Give me a cookie.
No, I don't have anything.
I could be lying here, dying, all because of low blood sugar and your lack of snacks, and you call me the failure? Gosh, worthless.
That isn't the opening scene as far as I'm concerned. The opening scene is when they get to the walls and they meet Hana's, and that.
He doesn't know? Oh, snaps! Knowledge is about to get dropped!
Hannes, what the hell are you talking about?
Aaron, your mother was a massive whore back in the day.
No, she wasn't.
Look, Aaron, I've seen Titans, and they're scary as shit. But trust me, when I tell you that even the worst of them couldn't match your mom when it comes to the sheer amount of human meat that's been in her mouth.
It's not just that they have an interesting scene. It's not just that they actually put an info dump of how they're going to treat the series. It's that they made the info dump one of the most compelling plot points and a running gag that is truly fascinating in just how screwed up it is. It redefines the character of Aaron's mother so thoroughly that you have no doubt that this is going to be one of the most insane takes on the series ever. And there are a lot of really talented people who have done Abridged on Titan. Team 4-Star did a take on this. I say this is still better than Team 4-Star's variant. That is the level I put it at. It's not just that they redefine it, though. It's not just that it becomes a plot point later on. Again, I already mentioned spoilers, so it's not a big deal. Is that this type of humor is very difficult to intertwine because it works on multiple levels. All the previous ones I said, and the fact that it is actually a very thoughtful show. It doesn't seem like that because most of the time you're just going, oh my god, why, oh my god, what the F? But to establish that reaction and yet still have the characters be believable, you have to do it one of two ways. Either you go straight on absurdist surrealist like Code Meant or Pokemon Bridged, or you build up a joke that is so intertwined with the story and the plot that when it goes off, not only is it relevant, not only is it a plot point, but it is insane in its own right. And that is exactly the way Slap on Titan has gone. It builds up the insanity of every character. But that's also where the next point comes in. When I say every character, I'm lying. It really is one character. Okay, everyone else gets it too, technically. But Armin, just Armin, he is the main character. Eren is funny, but he's just there. He has roles he has to play for the bridge to move forward, and they're funny, they're great. I'm not going to talk about the cabin scene, that was fucked up. But they're funny. Then there's Armin. He steals the show. Not once, not twice, but in almost every scene he's in. He is so extremely evil, so over the top in his insanity is the best way I can say it. So, if he was a Bond villain, he would be stroking a cat that had a machine gun surgically implanted into its anus, so he can just like, hello, Mr. Bond. Prepare for kitty vengeance. Yeah, see, that's stupid. It doesn't make sense. But it's so stupid, it's so crazy. I could see Armin doing it while shouting and laughing maniacally and insanely. Mostly because he lost his sanity somewhere in the fight, and it just happened. I would see that as normal. The few times they really make this really, truly, undeniably Armin are his opening intro, when you just have that entire screed against the bullies. You're like, quick, punch him in the face to make it stop.
I hope you enjoy this. You're the stronger one now. But one day, I'm gonna grow up, and I'm gonna teach myself how to make chloroform and knock you all out. Then, I'll drag you down into my basement and chain you to the foundation. The first thing you'll see upon waking is me, standing before you as your new god. And then I'll make you worship me in ways no one has before.
The second time, though, is near the season 1 finale, when he has the Armin crazy speech. They're about to be assassinated by the military police because there's like, oh, we don't want to try to kill us, and it looks like Eren is. So Armin delays them by out-crazying them.
Fool! I shall drown you in the maelstrom of my nightmares! My tentacles will twist and contort your throat as I throttle you with visions of hermaphroditic succubi and violent and penal rape fantasies! I will take your cities. I will subjugate your children. I will rape and devour your armies. But you, only you, shall survive. So you may bear testament to my will and ultimate vengeance.
I have seen other people do takes on this. Some stick closer, some make a few jokes. Abridged on Titan had a musical number. Yeah, that happened. This, though, this is a screed of the most vile, the most inhumane. It is truly disturbing, the levels they reach. And it is humorous, not because it's funny in its own right, but because it builds on itself to such a creepy, such a disturbing point that there is no human reaction but to laugh in terror. This is a terror laugh, where you are laughing not because it's funny, it is, but because it is disturbing, because you feel violated for having experienced it, and there is no human way to comprehend what he is saying without devolving into a really dark place, so you have to laugh to preserve your sanity. And that isn't the only time he does that. It is just the one where it shows exactly who the main character is. Because before this, it's like he's kind of a side character. This one, though, it's not just that he's funny, it's that he steals the show, that he becomes such a focus that every scene he comes up becomes the best scene. He is the main character because of this scene. And then just a few episodes later, he hammers it home. Okay, technically it's like 8 episodes later, but I'm not going to count. Mostly because I suck at math. In The Crimson King. For the longest time, that was the latest episode. They recently got a new one out, and they might get another one out this year. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But in that episode, Armin went full on Armin. And he was glorious in his depravity.
Why won't you love me? I am the Crimson King, anointed in blood and destined to claim you by my side.
Now to stick the leg.
Look upon these two sacrifices I brought you. Look upon them and use them as you will.
What the fuck is going on with Armin?
Are yours to take, and once you join my side.
But it is moments like this that truly show just how demented he is, how disturbing. Any other context would have him as the villain of the entire series. He is more evil than some of the evil characters in Abridged who had their evil played up for humor. And yet he does it for humor. And he's ostentatiously the good guy. I'm still not even sure who's the good guy in Abridged on Titan or Slap on Titan or anything. Or even just regular Attack on Titan. I think they're all kind of evil, but that's just my opinion. It is what makes him so defined that he can easily steal the show. He might not have been intended as the main character, but because of just how much of a focus he is, how many good speeches of insanity he has received, he is justifiably the main character, because anything else is a lesser main character. It is just honestly impressive that they can establish that. And I don't even know if it was intentional or not, but he has truly stolen the show. And if for any reason a later episode comes out where someone else, like maybe even Aaron, takes that mantle back, the level they have to reach of just how over the top, impressive, and insane, and deranged, that is a level that one is going to be honestly terrifying and will probably be stricken from YouTube for the sheer, factor of it, and I do mean that as a factor. It's a very viable thing. Very odd, but systems, how do you know? It will be the high watermark of the show, because outdoing Armin at this point is both nearly impossible, and yet a goal that should be reached. He got pretty close in the very next episode that came out, but he just had less screen time to do it, so it was just inducing as opposed to inducing. Yeah, the facial expressions are actually quite important.
One night 3 years ago, Jean, I lured Reiner to the bathrooms and shocked him into near unconsciousness. I then began a system of careful indoctrination using a mix of hallucinogens and pain. Over that night, I molded him, grew him into my very first mind slave. I've been waiting years to trigger this, and now you've given me the perfect opportunity. What does Master desire?
Normally, I would say what's good about the show and what's not. Okay, everything is good about this. Their editing is just improving every time. But the humor and the fact that the jokes keep coming back and they'll add a layer to a joke every time. What makes the show really impressive, though, is that they just keep coming back to the humor. And that's why Armin works. It's why the jokes are intelligent, because you have to remember a joke that was made offhand in the first episode to get something 10 episodes later. 9 episodes later, 5 episodes later, even just the next episode. It always builds. Every joke usually has a little reference later on to make a next joke even better. And that is actually a lot of credit given to the audience, because some places don't expect you to think beyond the joke. They're going to be like, ha, that's funny, next joke. Ha, that's funny, next joke. And you won't have to remember, because you just remember it was funny. This joke, though, every joke in Slap on Titan is built on a previous joke. You need to have some understanding of why exactly this is funny, because you understood why it was funny the first time. And then, because it's a plot point, it's relevant to the story, so you understand what's going to be funny the next time. This kind of layered building of the story is difficult to achieve, harder to master, and this has done it. The hardest things you can ever write are romance and humor, because it is entirely subjective, easily screwed up, and if for any reason you're in the wrong mood, you're going to write something that is neither. Or even worse, that is the opposite. Great when done intentionally. When done badly, it just shows you don't know what you're doing. This show, Slap on Titan, has achieved something truly remarkable. It has high points and low points. The low points are whenever something ends because like, damn it, the episode's over. That is definitely the low point. The high point is every other moment. When it comes to how good this series is, I have no way to rate it, but a definite 8 crazy Armin thumbs up. There's not even a thought at this one. The only reason I wouldn't say 9 or 10 is mostly just because those are levels that I almost think are impossible to reach, except by some of the most competent abridges in the entire sphere of YouTube. I can only think of 1 or 2 that get there. This, though, is truly impressive. The only thing keeping this from being the perfect show is that while I personally like built-up jokes, I understand and realize and will fully acknowledge it's not for everyone, because that level of understanding of humor and to remember a plot point that you might have seen literally months ago when how these shows come out and it's a very sporadic nature, it is very difficult to get the humor. And if for some reason you forget a joke, it's still funny, but the level of entertainment is diminished because of it. It asks a lot of the audience. And part of the problem with that is that if the audience can't deliver on their end, it falls flat. I am personally very fond of this, and I would rate on my personal level a 10. I would say it's perfect to watch. I would love it. I will rewatch it. But for a general audience, it really comes down to, is this style of humor for you? If it is, you'll love it. It'll be great. If you don't, it'll be good. And that is actually impressive in its own right, where if it's not your style of humor, it is still impressive. But that is a thing you have to take into account. Do you like jokes that run? Do you like jokes that will come back and you'll have to remember months from now when the next episode comes out? If yes, you should already watch this series. You should have rewatched this series. You should have had like a lifetime membership to YouTube, because you are going to watch this so much. You just need to go sign up for YouTube Red or whatever it's called now, because you're going to have that thing on playlist and you're going to laugh constantly. And honestly, I'm not saying I would do that, but I have heavily considered it. It is a good series, and if you haven't seen it, watch it. If you like this kind of humor, you can figure out how much you should watch it right now. So for everyone else, though, thanks for watching. Again, don't forget, there is a link to the series down below. Make sure to hit it up, and if I haven't put it in there, remind me, because I might have forgot. Oops. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next week for the next one. I will put the poll on YouTube to see what you do next, and let's see what comes up. Later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And for everyone who's supporting me on Patreon, thank you so very much. It does make it so much easier to get these videos out, along with a bunch of other new original series that I'm starting to work on. So again, to all the Patreons who are helping supporting this, thank you. And if you're interested in joining, there is a link on the screen. For everyone else, thanks for watching again. See you guys in the next one.